For the third time in MTA history, Full Throttle comes to you tonight right here on the MTA YouTube channel. 32 of the best monster trucks and drivers are willing and ready to throw it down and lay it all out there on the track to try and become the Full Throttle Champion. The question remains, which driver is going to have the keys to success here tonight and put that truck in the winner's circle? We're going to find out next.
Let's get ready to go racing, because now MTA proudly presents Full Throttle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third annual Full Throttle event right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Hi everyone, I'm your host tonight, Steve Jones, and we're getting ready to let go of 32 of the best diecast monster trucks right here on the MTA track. The course is going to be one to remember. These guys are trying to get dialed in, qualified well, some trucks rolled over, and it's going to be a showdown you will never forget right here on the MTA track. Be sure if you're new here, you crush that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and stay up to date with what everything MTA has to offer. We're getting ready to go round one racing right here at the third annual Full Throttle event, so buckle up and get ready. And round one kicking off right now. We're kicking off the show with none other than Chad Legit, 2 Legit, and Tropical Thunder ready to rock and roll against Preston Hurd, who we saw all season long on Thursday Night Thunder. There he is, ready to rock and roll. The zombie machine in that far lane. We'll see what he's got against the old-time veteran, Chad Legit and Tropical Thunder here to kick off round one at Full Throttle. Green light goes down now. They're even on the start. Tropical Thunder now pulling a slight lead. Zombie coming back and turning the truck over right there in the shutdown area. It looks like Preston Hurd did come back and gather up the win. Let's go down now to our photo finish. Yes, he does. Preston Hurd and Zombie is your round one winner. Now, next up here in round one competition at Full Throttle, we've got Jimmy Ferguson in that 1957 Chevy Bel Air Avenger ready now to take on Caden Wilson, who's been out on Thursday Night Thunder the last couple of seasons. He's looking to dial in Jurassic Attack here tonight and take out the Avenger Chevrolet. Both trucks now staged at the line. Who's going on to round two? Here's the green light now down the straight stretch. They go, they're even. Avenger now pulling a slight lead. Almost got no. There he goes. Turned it over there in the shutdown area. I was getting ready to say he almost got into a little bit of trouble, corrected it, but turned the truck over nonetheless. He is your winner. But now we move on with round one. It's the return of Bradley Graham and the Clydesdale Chevrolet ready to go here in the near lane. Now set to take on Old Nugget there in that far lane in the brand new Gangster machine. We've seen him out here a couple of times before. Ready to rock and roll here once again for the Clydesdale. Down the straight stretch to go. The Chevrolet pulling a slight lead off. Nugget almost loses it there in no man's land. He stood it on the rear end and drug the tailgate across no man's land. But he is on the trailer for the night, and Bradley Graham and the Clydesdale move on into round number two. The veteran getting the win over the rookie right there. But next up in round one, we've got Jarrett Booker returning in the brand new high roller machine. That truck's only been seen out here a couple of times. The crew went through, revamped the truck, but he draws up the daunting task of taking on Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet ready to go. Ford and Chevrolet now down the straight stretch. The Chevy's got a lead on the veteran trying to put it down. And Rich Wagner put the screws to high roller early on, but Jarrett Booker was right there with him. Wagner barely closed the gap going across the finish line. Let's go down now and take a look and see how close it was in our photo finish. By about half a truck, Rich Wagner pulls out the win in Wild Hair. Next up in the Full Throttle lineup, we've got Jason Wolf, the crazy cat and prowler, now gets the task of taking on the new kid on the block, Walker Stevens, the 2022 Redemption Champion. Son of a digger over there out of Poplar Branch, North Carolina. It's a bad, fast truck. Green light goes down. Rookie and veteran now down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over the cars now. And Prowler turns it over. Jason Wolf got crossed up, coming across the last set of cars. And the rookie and son of a digger get the round one win. What a matchup that was. Jason Wolf letting it all hang out. But next up, his second generation driver, Olivia Cantwell, bringing the Nightmare Chevrolet to the line. Now set to take on a newcomer to the scene. That's Sawyer Ramsdale out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. In sudden impact, Ford and Chevrolet matchup. Green light goes down. Now they're even off the start. Now they go over no man's land. Nightmare in trouble. And sudden impact, and the rookie pulls out his first big win right here on the MTA YouTube channel. Sudden Impact moves on as Nightmare goes onto the trailer there in pieces nonetheless. Next up is the debut of the brand new Built for Tough Blue Thunder. Charlie Stevens at the wheel. There he is right there in that far lane, ready to rock and roll against the man that went to the finals there at our last big show. Starvin, Corey Marvin, and Eradicator Ford and Chevrolet now down the straight stretch. Marvin's got a lead on the Blue Thunder now coming back. And what a race it was as they go across the finish line. That was incredibly close all the way down to the wire. I do believe Charlie Stevens made up some ground over that last set of cars. Let's go down now and check out our photo finish. Your winner's gonna be Charlie Stevens and Blue Thunder just barely edging out the Eradicator machine. What a race it was, but next up here at Full Throttle, we've got Jeffrey Skipper, the Iceman, returning in his original ride. The U.S. Air Force Afterburner had to knock some of the dust off that old ride there. Ready to rock and roll, glad to see him back in it. Now set to take on Joseph Nelson. The new kid's got the Mind Blower dialed in. Here's the green light now, veteran and rookie down the straight stretch. Mind Blower pulling the lead. Skipper trying to come back, gets himself in trouble. Look out, Joseph Nelson. Almost went for a ride there in the shutdown area, much like Jeffrey Skipper. Look at him over there in the far lane. He laid the truck over on that last obstacle there in our shutdown area. I guarantee you he didn't hurt the truck that bad, but let's go down and look at the photo finish. Skipper tried to make up some ground and almost did so, but Joseph Nelson and Mindblower get the round one win. And next up here in round one, this racing's getting close, ladies and gentlemen. Downtown Mitch Brown, the returning 8-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, and Bigfoot, the Ford out of Pacific, Missouri, taking on another Ford out of Hagerstown, Maryland. Joey Andrews and Black Stallion. It's a battle on the Ford Oval Brigade down the straight stretch. They go, they're even now. Black Stallion puts it to Bigfoot. Joey Andrews turns it over. What a race it was. Mitch Brown was trying to close the gap across the line, and Joey Andrews putting the big Ford horsepower down. He gets up in the round one victory over Bigfoot. What an upset that was here in round one. But next up, out of Paxton, Illinois, it's Peanut returning, and Maximum Destruction ready to go in the near lane, ready to take on another seasoned veteran, Justin Lamb. Midnight Rider ready to rock and roll in the far lane. Green light goes down now off the line. They're dead even. Max D pulling a slight lead. Midnight Rider coming back, and Max D got fumbled up there in no man's land, and that was the last ride for that specific Max D machine, as Maximum Destruction and team are getting a brand new truck. Now let's take a look at the photo finish. There you see the victory. Justin Lamb and Midnight Rider edging out Max D. And next up in round one, returning Jalen Buford, the USA 1 Chevrolet, ready to rock and roll. Now set to take on Jamie Hurd. You've seen the name before, the former driver of Iron Outlaw. Now pilots the brand new Taurus machine over there in that far lane, the Chevrolet-powered Bull. Now set to take on the Chevrolet-powered USA 1. Here he is down the straight stretch. Taurus got him up the line. USA 1 trying to come back. Buford turns it over, lands it upright on all fours. Nonetheless, Jamie Hurd and the brand new Taurus get the round one win over the USA 1 Chevrolet. Buford was going for broke there, just didn't have enough. And next up in round one, returning Rudy Zilligy in that brand new Rage machine we saw him debut just a couple of months ago, has another task of taking on Ethan Wagner, the Cyclops machine. The kid's been known to get that truck in the victory lane several times. Rage and Cyclops, here's the green light down the straight stretch. Cyclops pulling a lead on him now over no man's land, and a smooth passing Zilligy upside down in Rage in the far lane, giving the win to Ethan Wagner and Cyclops with a clean pass over here in the near lane. And right along now with round one competition, Raylan Mullins returning in the Medusa Ford out of Tampa, Florida, ready to take on Mr. Shaggy, Matt Cheever, Grave Digger the Legend from Poplar Branch, North Carolina. Grave Digger the Legend to go in the far lane. Here he goes now against Medusa down the straight stretch. They're hanging even now up and over no man's land. Medusa front flips across the line, and I don't know if Cheever had enough in the tank to beat her across the finish line there in the far lane. What a wild ride by Raylan Mullins and Medusa. Let's go back down now to our MTA replay. Both drivers cut an incredible light, maybe a slight lead to Medusa here in the near lane. Watch right here as Medusa noses over hard through no man's land, still has the right sense to put a foot to it and shot it over the cars, doing a front flip in the process and putting out a win over Grave Digger the Legend. What an incredible race. But next up, Greg Durbin returns out of Columbus, Michigan, the Brutus machine, ready to go there in the far lane to take on Savannah Zilligy. Little Miss Dangerous, the 1941 Willys, rocking and rolling here in the near lane. Green light goes down now. Brutus got her on the line. Dangerous coming back now, and Brutus loses the body. But Zilligy and Little Miss Dangerous gather up the round one win over the Brutus machine. We'll see that beautiful 1941 Willys back in round 2 competition. As we get closer to ending out round 1 here, next up, Brian Prazak returns out of Portage, Indiana. The Monster Patrol Chevrolet now set to take on one kid who's been proven to be bad fast out here, Roland Cantwell out of Brentwood, Tennessee, the Predator machine with a big bad bow tie under the hood. Ready now to take on Monster Patrol in this classic 1990s matchup. Predator and Monster Patrol, green light goes down. Who's going on to round 2? They're even down the stretch now over the cars and Monster Patrol. Looks like Brian Prazak upside down there gets into the backflip ramp in the shutdown area as he was trying to slow the truck down, but he does edge out the Predator machine right there. Now the MTA track road officials are down there to rolling back over there. You see the wing broke off of Monster Patrol. He should be able to get it back. The crew's going to go over the truck and make sure he's at 100% for round 2 as he just knocked off the Predator machine here in round 1. A great run by Monster Patrol, and now we get set to close out round 1 competition. The Cowboy from Hell, Timothy Cantwell and Bounty Hunter returning out of Tonganoxie, Kansas, now set to take on Blake Willis, who we haven't seen in quite some time. He returns in the Black Widow machine over there in that far lane, a truck that was built from the K&J race camp. Here's the green light now, Black Widow and Bounty Hunter down the stretch. Cantwell's got a lead on him over the cars and pulls out the win here in round 1. The Cowboy from Hell will advance Bounty Hunter into round 2 competition here at Full Throttle, and we're getting set and ready to go for round 2 action. The trucks are ready. We started with 32. We're now down to 16, and coming up next, we've got returning Jimmy Ferguson in that 1957 Chevy Bel Air Avenger ready to rock and roll against Preston Hurd in the Zombie machine. The kid's got that truck dialed in, ready to go in that far lane. What's he got for old Avenger here to kick off round 2? Ladies and gentlemen, here we go now. Green light, round 2 kicks off down the straight. Reds are even now over the car, and Avenger turns it over. What a ride there for Jimmy Ferguson in the 57 Chevy Bel Air Avenger there in the near lane, taking out Zombie. Let's go back down now and take another look at the replay. Off the line, both drivers cut a great light there, pretty much even down the straight stretch. A slight lead to Avenger maybe in the near lane, but watch Zombie in the far lane coming back on him. Avenger noses over hard on that last set of cars, and he had no choice but to get into the brake pedal before getting into the next obstacle there in the shutdown area. Nonetheless, Avenger does move on. Next up in round 2 competition, 2 old-time veterans and arch rivals are going to throw it down in their Chevrolets. Rich Wagner and Wildhair ready to go here in that far lane, taking on Bradley Graham and Clydesdale, ready to rock it out here in the near lane. Which veteran moves on to round 3 here at Full Throttle? Green light goes down. Wildhair and Clydesdale off the line. They're dead even now over the cars, and Clydesdale pulls it out, turns it over in the shutdown area. Wagner lost control there in the shutdown area, went towards the wall. Nonetheless, Bradley Graham and Clydesdale is your round 2 winner. What an incredible race by 2 veterans. Nonetheless, as we move along, Sawyer Ramsdale returns in their sudden impact Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania, now set to take on new kid on the block, Walker Stevens, son of a digger, who has been bad fast out here and tearing up names all over the MTA circuit. Can Sawyer Ramsdale and Sudden Impact put an end to the kid's winning streak? Green light goes down, son of a digger and Sudden Impact are even over the cars now, and what a race! Sudden Impact turns it over. He was trying to shut it down. The rookie got into the binders there in the shutdown area and flipped over into our backflip ramp. What a race. Let's look at the photo finish. The new kid, Sawyer Ramsdale and Sudden Impact is your winner over Son of a Digger in round 2. What a crazy matchup that was. Nonetheless, as we move right along, Charlie Stevens returns in that brand new built Ford Tough Blue Thunder. The Super Duty ready to go there in the far lane to take on Joseph Nelson and Mindblower. The kid has really been on a rail. What's he got for the brand new Blue Thunder? Here's the green light down the straight track. Mindblower's pulled a lead on a Blue Thunder in trouble. Turns it over. Stevens upside down. And Mindblower, Joseph Nelson pulls it out in the end. He gets the round 2 victory over the brand new Blue Thunder. Next up in round 2 here at Full Throttle, Justin Lamb returns in the Midnight Rider, ready now to take on Joey Andrews out of Hagerstown, Maryland. The Black Stallion Ford looks strong in round 1. He's ready to go there in that far lane. Justin Lamb, Midnight Rider, he's been out here many times before. Can he knock off Black Stallion? There's the green light now down the straight stretch. Midnight Rider pulling a slight lead, crosses up, and Andrews comes back, turns it over again here in that far lane. Joey Andrews and Black Stallion is your winner over the Midnight Rider out of that far lane. We'll see Black Stallion back for round 3. Nonetheless, as we move on, Full Throttle, full swing. Here we go. Ethan Wagner, Cyclops returns. He's now set to take on longtime MTA veteran in his brand new ride, the Taurus machine, powered by a big bow tie under the hood of that truck, ready to rock and roll against Cyclops, the Chevrolet here in the near lane. Here's the green light now. Taurus and Cyclops down the straight stretch. Ethan Wagner pulling a slight lead on him now over the cars. They make contact. and what a showdown in the finish line area. Looks like Jamie Hurd pulled the trigger over the last set of cars. Taurus hanging right there with Cyclops. Let's go back down now to our MTA replay. Take another look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Off the line here, Ethan Wagner has about a half a truck lead on the Taurus machine. Watch him cross up a little bit here in no man's land. So does Taurus. They make contact right there in the center of the track, and the officials are giving Cyclops the win by about 3/4 of a tire tread over the Taurus machine. What a showdown like no other here at the Full Throttle. That race was extremely close. But next up, Raylan Mullins out of Tampa, Florida returns in the Medusa Ford, now set to take on another girl here on the MTA circuit. That is Savannah Agility, the 1941 Willies. Little Miss Dangerous there in the far lane. Green light goes down now. It's a battle of the ladies. Agility got her on the line. Mullins now coming back, and the truck noses over again. She caught it that time and kept it under control. Medusa tried to go end over end one more time, but pulls out the win instead. A great racing matchup there, but next up as we close out round 2, the Cowboy from Hell, Timothy Campbell and Bounty Hunter ready to go at a Tonganoxie, Kansas, now set to take on Brian Prazak at a Portage, Indiana, who turned the truck over in round 1. These two drivers used to represent Outlaw Motorsports. Here they go now, Ford Chevrolet, Bounty Hunter, and Monster Patrol. Monster Patrol got a lead on him over the car. Bounty's in trouble, and Brian Prazak, the Monster Patrol Chevrolet, pulls it out in the end over the Bounty Hunter. We'll see that big bad bow tie back for round 3 competition. The Ford Oval goes right up on the trailer as Bounty Hunter's going home. Monster Patrol does move on, but now we kick off round 3 competition, and it's going to be the return of Jimmy Ferguson in that beautiful 1957 Chevy Avenger, now set to take on longtime MTA veteran, still out to get his first big event win here on the MTA YouTube channel, Bradley Graham and Clydesdale, who just knocked off Rich Wagner earlier tonight. Green light goes down, 2 Chevrolets gonna throw it down. Avenger pulling a slight lead over the car, and Clydesdale goes over trying to chase him down. Bradley Graham turns it over there in the shutdown area. What an incredible matchup. But Jimmy Ferguson and the Avenger move on to semifinals here at Full Throttle. Who's he gonna meet there? Well, we're gonna find out, because next up, Joseph Nelson returns in the Mind Blower Chevrolet, ready to take on new kid on the block, Sawyer Ramsdale, the Sudden Impact Ford, at a Frackville, Pennsylvania. The kid's been strong all night. He knocked off Walker Stevens and Son of a Digger in that last round. He's going to try to take out Mind Blower now down the straight stretch. Ford and Chevrolet over the car, and Sudden Impact gathers it up in the shutdown area. He puts the Chevrolet on the trailer, and the new kid goes to his first semifinals here on the MTA YouTube channel. And now as we move on with round 3 action, it's the return of Joey Andrews out of Hagerstown, Maryland. The Black Stallion Ford's been running strong all night long, ready now to take on Ethan Wagner in Cyclops, the And Justice for All champion from earlier this year, ready to throw it down with Black Stallion Ford and Chevrolet here at Full Throttle down the straight stretch. Cyclops got him off the line. Stallion trying to come back and doesn't have enough, and Joey Andrews will be eliminated here tonight by Ethan Wagner and Cyclops as he will move on to semifinal competition. And now as we get set to close out round 3, returning out of Tampa, Florida, is Raylan Mullins and Medusa, who had that wild front flip crash in round 1. Got it back together in round 2. She draws up against Brian Prazak, who has well turned it over in round 1, and Monster Patrol there in the far lane. Ford and Chevrolet here to close out round 3 competition. They're even down the line, up and over no man's land, and Medusa gets it done, and Monster Patrol goes on over. Brian Prazak knew he was in trouble, tried to gather it up through no man's land, turned the truck over for the second time tonight. A tough break. Monster Patrol was on a rail here tonight, upside down unfortunately here to close out round 3. But now as we get ready for semifinals here at Full Throttle, we started with 32 trucks, we're now down to 4, and up first, a Ford versus Chevrolet matchup. 2 new guys ready to throw it down on the MTA circuit. Sawyer Ramsdale, Sudden Impact out of Frackville, Pennsylvania in the Ford. Jimmy Ferguson, the Chevrolet, and Avenger here in the near lane ready to throw it down. Here's the green light to kick off semi. Sudden Impact and Avenger now. Avenger got a huge lead on him off the start over the car. Sudden Impact goes over, and Avenger, Jimmy Ferguson, puts it in the finals here tonight at Full Throttle. The Avenger Chevrolet will knock off Sudden Impact. The question remains, who does Avenger meet in the finals? Will it be Raylan Mullins out of Tampa, Florida in the Medusa Ford, or is Ethan Wagner going to another final event here in these big shows in Cyclops there? The Chevrolet ready to go in the far lane. Who's it going to be meeting Avenger? Green light goes down. Cyclops got her on the line. Medusa now making up the ground over the car. And Medusa and Raylan Mullins pulls out the win here in the near lane. Wagner skywheeling the truck over no man's land, and you got to think if that costed him the racing win here in semifinals. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's what we all come to see for the third annual Full Throttle. It's the final time, and it's going to be a Ford versus Chevrolet matchup. Medusa to take on Avenger. Jimmy Ferguson, the Avenger Chevrolet out of Columbus, Michigan, has been running strong all night with consistent passes. Raylan Mullins, the Medusa Ford out of Tampa, Florida, thrilling the fans there in round one with an awesome front flip. Who's the winner going to be here at Full Throttle? Medusa, Avenger. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime here at Full Throttle as we go green now down the straight stretch. They're even a slight lead to Avenger on the card now, and Avenger gathers it up, and I do believe he pulled out the win going across the finish line. Ferguson was all over the track there going across the line, trying to keep his mess nice and tight. But look at the far lane as Raylan Mullins was sawing at the wheel over there in that far lane. Let's take another look here. Avenger got it off the line down the straight stretch. Watch the speed he starts to pick up over Medusa. Gets over here, up and over no man's land. He crosses up, got a little sideways, nonetheless pulls it out in the end over the Medusa Ford. Avenger is your winner. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me in congratulating your third annual Full Throttle champion, Jimmy Ferguson in Avenger. And that'll wrap up the third annual Full Throttle event right here on the MTA YouTube channel. I just want to thank you guys for coming out and watching the show. We hope you enjoyed the great racing action for the third annual Full Throttle event. Again, if it wasn't for you guys, we would have gave this up a long time ago. Thank you guys for getting us over 5,000 subscribers. We appreciate it very, very much. Thank y'all for watching. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next time.